Hello everyone, welcome to the fourth week of Scalable Data Mining course, the first lecture. From this week, we will start our discussion on streaming algorithms. Okay. What are data streams? So, uh, so in many situations, we do not. In many data mining problems where we have to process and mine data, we do not know the entire data in advance. Okay. Uh, Instead, what happens is the data arrives over a period of time in what is called a stream. Okay, so we will see what is a stream. So there are many factors here. So first of all, when the data arrives is not in our hand. Okay, so the input rate of data may be controlled externally. So sometimes the data may arrive very fast, sometimes it may arrive very slowly. Okay. Uh, So consider the example, some example applications. If you have seen Google Trends, okay. So for example, Google Trends can give you the volumes or an indicator of the volume of traffic for each of the queries. Okay. So the queries arrive over time and they can give for, let's say, past 5 years or more probably. Okay. So you can see the trends over any amount of time. Okay. Okay. So so they need so the queries arrive one after the other. Okay. And they need to maintain a statistic, or they need to process this queries. Okay, this stream of queries. Okay. uh, One after the other. Okay. Similarly, take the case of Twitter or Facebook updates. Okay, so again, one can think of the timeline here. So this is the timeline. Okay, and maybe this is one update. You know, two or three updates arrive very fast, and then fourth update, fifth update. Yeah. So all these so this is how the update comes. Okay. And again, the update may have some data, so update may be x1, x2, and so on and so forth. Okay. And we need to process this data. Okay. So here we can think of the whole data as infinite. Okay. And non-stationary in distribution, in the sense that the distribution of the data changes over time. Okay. So there is no one finite data set which you have to mine, but there is an infinite data source, okay, which is changing over time. We need so the streaming model is all about processing the data in such a situation. Okay. So the input uh, elements enter at a rapid rate. Now, it depends on how you define a stream. So conceptually, we will think of stream as one timeline, okay, where many of these elements arrive. Okay, and these need not arrive in equal interval of time, so they can be bunched together and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, uh, depending on how you set things up, you may also have to process more than one streams at a time. Okay, so in that case, each of the streams will have its own timeline. Okay, so this is stream one, this is stream two. Okay, now the key factor here is that the system cannot store the entire stream in an accessible manner. Okay, so imagine the volume of Google queries or the volume of updates that Facebook has. Okay, no matter how many servers you have, you cannot store the entire data and then also expect to process that entire data or access that entire data when a certain query comes. Let's say you want to ask how many times was a particular search phrase appearing. Okay, you cannot process last 5 years of data in order to answer these queries. Okay, so the key question or the key challenge here is, how do you make critical calculations about the stream using a limited amount of memory? So you cannot store the entire data stream in the memory. Okay, how do you process the or how do you make some calculations, okay, about the stream in using a limited amount of memory? Okay, so this is a diagrammatic architecture of a stream processor. Okay, there are many software platforms which also support stream processing. Okay, uh, we already saw the system Spark. Okay, so Spark has a streaming version called Spark Streaming. Uh, and also there are many other systems like Storm and others, open source systems which allow stream processing. And of course there are many products, database products, which also allow stream processing. Okay, so what is the architecture of a stream processor? Okay, so basically at the center of a stream processor is the processor, okay, which gets the various streams as input. So these are the streams, okay, and here the time is increasing in the left direction. Okay, so this comes at a time earlier than this and this and this and so on. And as you can see, this is infinite. Okay, and the elements and each of these elements or items of a stream will be called either elements or tuples, or sometimes we will refer to them as items. These all mean the elements of the stream. Okay, and now there is a limited working storage. So think of this as the RAM of this streaming processor. Okay, so the processor has a limited amount of RAM, and which is much less in size than if you consider the entire streaming data. Okay, and optionally it may have an archival storage. Generally they have an archival storage where they may store either entire stream, or they may have a storage policy where they may store only the last 5 years of data or something like that. But the important thing is that this archival storage is only used for special cases. Okay, so for processing the streaming queries, this archival storage cannot be accessed. Okay, it is just too expensive to access this archival storage for the purpose of processing the stream. Okay, now what do we process in the stream? Okay, so again there can be, typically the processing of a stream following the database literature is called queries. Okay, so whatever output you want from the stream will be called as queries. Okay, and there are two types of queries. The first is the standing query. Okay, so a standing query is the one which is known in advance before the stream starts. Okay, so known advance. Okay, so you may you may specify that for maybe for you know the top for the trending keywords. Okay, keywords. Okay, uh, you know, calculate the number of times they occur every hour. Okay. Okay. So this can be one standing query. So you issue the query even before the stream starts arriving. Okay. So you know that no matter what, this has to be calculated. Okay. Uh, the second type of queries are called ad hoc queries. Okay. So here you don't know beforehand what you are going to look for. Okay. Or what you are going to query. Okay. So the stream is running for a while, and suddenly you may fire a query saying, you see some problem, and you may fire a query saying how many times has the keyword, let's say, machine learning has been searched. Okay. Okay. For some reason, you need the number of times that the keyword machine learning has been searched. Okay. Let's say in the past 7 days or something like that. Okay. So your stream has been running for years. Okay. But you want the number of times machine learning has been searched in past 7 days. Okay. So these are called ad hoc queries. Okay. Now, so that was a broad idea about stream processing. Okay. Now, let us go into a very basic problem of stream processing. Okay. Or a general problem of stream processing, which is maintaining a random sample. Okay. So the problem is that of maintaining a random sample. Okay. So just to mention once again, you have a stream S, okay, where you have seen these, let's say, elements, let's say x1, x2 till, xn. So you have seen n items till now, okay, okay, and you want a subset of, let's say, so let's call this stream something else. Let's call it, let's call this stream T, okay. Okay. So let's call this stream T, and let us maintain uh, a random sample S, okay, which is a subset of T, okay, and it is, let's say, of a certain size. So let's say it's of size small s, okay. So you select basically a random subset of these elements of size small s. Okay. So what do you mean by a random sample of size s? Okay. So what we mean is that at each point in time, okay, so your this subset s will change. It is actually st, okay, so it will change with time t. So at each point in time, okay, or even better, let's call this n. Okay, so you have seen n elements till now, so let us call this subset sn. Okay. Okay. uh, the size of the subset is same, it is small s. Okay. Now at each point in time, okay, if you see the original set, okay, the probability of any element occurring in this set Sn should be small s by n. Okay. So this is what we mean by a random sample, that each element should be chosen with equal probability. Okay. Okay. So, so here is an example. So here is an example stream. So this is a stream of, let's say, characters, and let's say you want to maintain a stream of size 2. Okay, sorry, a sample of size 2. Okay, so at n is equal to 5, you have this set AXCYZ. Okay, so each element from here should be included with probability 2 by 5. Okay, whereas at n is equal to 7, okay, uh, so AXCYZ KC, okay, each of these elements could be included with probability 2 by 7. So note that the probability of inclusion of the first 5 elements has now changed. Okay. Also note that there may be repeating elements in the stream. In that case, each element will be considered separately. Okay. So one does not consider unique elements here. Okay. So the sample may contain uh, uh, more than one count of the same element. So for example, here C occurs twice, and both of these may be selected in a sample. Okay. Now, what is a naive solution, which is also impractical, is that you basically store uh, all the n elements. Okay, but as we discussed, this is an impractical solution. Okay, so the question is, can we have an algorithm which achieves this? Okay, and indeed there is an algorithm. Okay, and the algorithm is called reservoir sampling. Okay, so this is the reservoir sampling algorithm. Okay, so what is reservoir sampling? Okay, so reservoir sampling algorithm says the following. Okay, so for the first elements, okay, there is not much to choose. So you have to for the first S elements. So you have to store a sample of size S. Okay, for the first S elements, okay, you have to choose all of them because you have to choose S elements. Okay, and each should occur with probability S by S. Okay, which is equal to 1. So each of them should be selected. Okay, and this makes sense. Okay, now from the S plus 1th element onwards, what do you do? So we are describing here the general step. Okay, so suppose you have processed already n minus 1 elements. Okay, you are maintaining a sample of size S. Okay, so let's call them x1 till xs. Okay, and now you have seen the nth element xn. Okay, so what do you do? Okay, so what the algorithm says is that with probability s by n, okay, you decide to keep the nth element. Okay, so this is fair because you are seeing the nth element for the first time and you know you have to keep it with probability s by n. Okay, otherwise you discard it. Okay, so you toss a coin. Okay, and then if you know, if your maybe you generate a random number between 0 and 1. Okay, if your random number, let us draw it here. So you have this probability s by n. Okay, so if your random number falls in this bucket, you decide to keep, otherwise you decide to discard the current element. Now the second step comes only if you have picked the first element. If you have not picked the first element, then the second step need not be executed. If you have picked the first element, now you know that you already have s of these elements. Okay. Now, at any point in time, you can only keep s elements. Okay. But now you have s of the existing elements and one more element which you have chosen to keep. Okay. So what do? You randomly select one of these s elements which you are keeping. So these elements should be chosen uniformly at random. So any one of the s elements. So the probability of choosing any of these elements is 1 by s. Okay. Now you randomly choose one of these elements. Okay. And you discard it, and instead of that element you keep this particular element that you have chosen. Okay? That is how you choose the nth element. Okay, so the claim is that this algorithm maintains a sample with the desired property that after you have processed the n elements, you have so the sample that you have, the probability of each element in the stream, okay, uh, is the probability that it is retained in the sample, okay, is s by n. Okay, and that is what we want. Okay, so let us see how this happens. Okay, so as you may have imagined, we prove this using induction. Okay, so assume that this holds true, the property holds true after n elements. Okay, so which means that after you have processed n elements, you have a set of samples where all the elements in the existing set, so the elements in the stream that you have seen are x1 till xn. Okay, all these elements appear with probability s by n. Okay, now you have seen this new element xn plus 1. Okay, you have to show that now after you are done processing with xn plus 1, so if you assume that the property holds still here, after you are done processing with xn plus 1, okay, you each element has a probability of retention which is equal to s by n plus 1. Okay, so so this is the inductive case. Okay, uh, so the base case for this is when actually n is equal to s. Okay, where each element should be chosen with probability s by s, which is 1, which is true because each element is kept in the sample. Okay, so the base case is true. Okay, now we try to prove this in the inductive case. Okay, so now note that there are, so after you have processed n plus 1 elements, okay, there are two types of elements. One which was already in Sn, which was already in the set after you had processed the nth element, and there is the new element xn plus 1. Okay, now you know that the new element is chosen with probability s by n plus 1. Okay, okay, for keeping. Okay, this is the first step of the algorithm. So for the new element, it is obvious that the probability of its being selected in Sn plus 1, okay, is S by n plus 1, where S is the size of the string. Okay, I'm using too many S's here, but hopefully it is clear which one is which. Okay, now consider one of the elements which was already which arrived beforehand, okay, and which was present here with probability s by n. Okay, this is our base hypothesis. Now, what is the probability that the algorithm keeps this element in the stream? So when will this element be kept in the stream? Okay, or rather kept in the sample. Okay, so this element will be kept in the sample if either the new element is discarded, xn plus 1 which arrives is discarded, okay, then all the elements are kept, and hence in particular a element which was already there in the sample is kept, okay. The probability of that happening is 1 minus s by n plus 1, because the probability of choosing is s by n plus 1, so probability of not choosing is 1 minus s by n plus 1, okay. The other way an element could be kept in the stream is that the new element is chosen, okay, but the current element is not chosen for discarding, okay. So the probability of new element being chosen is s by n plus 1, okay, and the probability of current element not being discarded is s minus 1 by s, which is basically 1 by 1 minus 1 by s, because remember each element is discarded with probability 1 by s from the sample, okay. So element not being discarded is 1 minus 1 by s, which is s minus 1 by s, okay. And now if you do a bit of this calculation, you can see that this quantity turns out to be n by n plus 1, okay. But we know that there is a probability 1 by n, okay, that one of the s by n, that one of the existing elements has stayed in the sample, okay. So now one of the existing elements which has stayed in the sample, the probability of it staying on further is this s by n, okay, this s by n times n minus n by n plus 1, right. So this is the probability that it has already stayed in a sample. If it has not stayed in a sample, then it will anyway not stay in the sample, okay. So the only way it can stay in the n plus 1th sample is if it has stayed in the nth sample already, okay. And the probability of that happening is s by n. And now probability of it staying on in the new sample is n by n plus 1. Okay, and hence the probability, the whole probability is just s by n plus 1. Okay, so this completes the proof. So this is a very elegant algorithm for maintaining a completely random sample, okay, from a given stream.